here we are at Shelters by Jesus podcast once again. So excited that you're watching and you're joining in with us. We're having a ball with these, man. Thank you for everybody who's been watching and hitting subscribe and like, because you're helping us. That we're getting money from YouTube, so we're very thankful. Also, if you want to be a part of our ministry and support it, you can go to sheltersbyjesus.com. And for $9 a month, you can get somebody off the street. We're going to be talking to some guys here in a moment that were on the street, and that $9 has got them here with us today, coming at you. The other thing is we have 4 books, Shelters by Jesus, written by me, the Dumb Hick from Skowhegan. They're written in Hickanese, and they're called Shelters by Jesus. They deal with battles and miracles and people's lives and all kinds of stuff. And we'd love to put them into your hand. They're either $10 or free, whichever one you can afford. All you got to do is give us your name and your address. And you can do it on here. You can write it on YouTube on this page, or you can call the office at 207-474-8833, and you can give them your name and your address, and we'll see to it that the books are made out. You can have 1 to 4. Have them all, have one, have which one. If you already got 1 and 2, we'll send you 3 and 4, whatever. The other thing we do is tours. So you're going to meet some guys here today, and you can come in person and meet them and see what we're all about. Not just these guys, but we have children here too. We have 23 children right now. May not be by the time you get here. There might be more, might be less. But we have Seth Roberts, who's our chief of staff, and he does the tours, and he will take you around. And we'd love to do that. We're at 12 McClellan Street in Skowhegan, Maine. That's 12 McClellan Street, Skowhegan, Maine. So here we go. What we got going on today is awesome. We're trying to bring you different things about our ministry and different people and different backgrounds. What we got now is I asked for guys that actually lived on the street. We're not talking about surfing from house to house, not talking about living in a car. Not even talking about living in town, but on the street and how they survived, where they stayed, what they ate, whatever. We're going to get their stories. We're going to get some of their background, where they're from. And one of them you've seen before is Ken. He's in some of my things. He is a cook, so now he's back in again. Somebody asked me, does he need to buy clothes? I was sending him money because he always he had an AC/DC thing on. Thought that's all he could afford. That's what he wears all the time. So if that shows up, that's Ken. That's his thing. So no, he doesn't need clothes. Yes, we have a clothes closet. We could outfit him differently, but he doesn't want to be. So what I want to do is I'll have each one of these guys give you their names, and then we're going to talk about where they're from, how they got here, and all of that. I'll start over here. And your name is?
Dana LaLiberty.
Dana LaLiberty.
I'm John McClellan.
John McClellan, who goes by?
J-Mac.
J-Mac. So if you hear me refer to J-Mac when we're talking, that's who we're talking to. Over here we have?
Ken O'Grady.
Ken O'Grady. He's French.
I can assure you he's not.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm going to start over here with Dana because Dana has a very interesting past to bring him up to here. We want to talk about what he did before he came on the street, what led to being on the street, and some of the things he's seen, and we're going to do the same thing with all 3 of them. What we're going to do is we may do this in a 2-parter because we're going to go like 15 to 20 minutes, so we may not get through them all, but hang on. If we don't, there's a second parter coming right on its heels. We'll do another one. And you won't miss out on a thing. So just stick with us. So, Dana, tell us about your past. Starting with college, what was your life? I mean, you are a college grad.
Yep.
Correct.
Went to Bowdoin College, 4 years there.
Okay.
Then on to law school for another 3 years. At Bowdoin, I was a hockey player.
Yes, you were. And I also heard there's quite a story behind that. You were an All-American, right?
Yep.
And you were drafted?
I was drafted by the Bruins.
Yeah.
But that didn't go anywhere. My father talked me out of it and ended up in law school.
So he talked you to be a lawyer. I mean a lawyer instead of a hockey player.
Yeah. Right choice, right decision, right choice.
Did you
No
enjoy?
regrets.
Did you enjoy being a lawyer?
Yes,
You did. Okay.
because I was strictly a district attorney, prosecuting attorney. Never went into private practice. I never had to defend people.
Okay.
I worked for the state.
So we hear these things about the only ones on the streets. They're unlearned and they're lazy. They're shiftless. They don't do anything. But you are a college grad. You were a lawyer. You were a DA. Also, you were more than a DA, right? You were
Assistant Attorney General.
Assistant Attorney General to the state of Maine. So you were, in people's eyes, that's climbing. That's not down here. That's climbing the peak to be the Assistant Attorney General of the state of Maine. That's quite the thing.
And generally, I ended up on the street. I burnt out. I got tired of the law. I got tired of the crybabies. I got tired of all that stuff. And one day I got over a cup of coffee. I was sitting there talking to my two Siamese cats. And I said, I'm done. I'm done.
Yep.
And I went in and I quit. Just like that.
Wow.
And that's how I ended up on the street. Pretty
So
much.
you took the shirt and tie off,
Right.
suit jacket,
Jeans and what have you.
and then you headed for the streets.
Yeah. And you found me down by the river,
I did.
and you dragged me here.
I did. I did.
And that's pretty much the story. And I've been here off and on ever since.
Now, come on, we're gonna get to J Mac and Kenny in a minute, but I kind of want to do one at a time. Where did you sleep when you was on the streets?
Park benches, anywhere that was that there weren't a lot of people. Down by the river, there's some slabs down there that people they hang out down there, and you can sleep down there.
Now, when you say slabs, what do you?
Oh, big concrete slab.
Okay, it's concrete. It's
Yeah.
not a wooden slab.
No,
it's
concrete.
So you slept on concrete.
Sure.
And how old are you?
I'm 69,
Six-
almost 69.
Almost 69. Now, that concrete slab, when it gets cold, must be a little hard on a 69-year-old body.
Well, I wasn't 69 at the time.
You were 69 at the time?
But I can rough it up with the best.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
Now, wow. I had so many things in my mind to ask, and a lot of it's still hard for me to grasp you being on the street because you are the antithesis to everything I ever heard about homelessness before I became pastor of a homeless shelter. I mean, highly educated, well-to-do. You had to have made some money.
Yeah, working for the state didn't make much money.
Didn't make much money.
No.
You was the only one for the state that didn't make much money.
Uh,
Yeah, my taxes say somebody made some money. I don't know where they went. So you didn't get all my tax money?
assistant DAs and assistant attorney generals, they don't make a lot of money.
Okay, what's not a lot of money? What's an average salary for an assistant?
All right, I left. I started out much less than this. When I left, I was making 40 before taxes.
40,000?
40,000. Yeah.
And what year did you leave?
Oh, back in the mid 90s, 96, 97.
Okay.
somewhere
Well, 40,000 was pretty good money in the
in-
90s. Yeah, gas wasn't $17 a gallon.
No, no, it wasn't. So I did all right. But, I had 3 kids and, a house, and I had everybody, like everybody else does, has to have the bills, the mortgages, and what have you. But I had no complaints. I don't look back and complain. I was fortunate. More fortunate than a lot of people.
Now, what would have been like, did you spend a winter outdoors?
No.
Okay, so praise God for that, because today we got up, as I said, I headed for the gym, it was 4 degrees below this morning, 4 o'clock this morning. Now, you've run across some people that have spent the winter
Oh, sure.
outside though, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how does people survive on the street in the winter without heat, without a building or anything?
They made do. There's always they got friends, and there's always a place to go. And that's how I survived. You know, I have a lot of friends around here, and if I need to crash somewhere, I had a place to crash.
Okay.
No problems there. So, but I tried to never overstay my welcome. That's what you don't want to do that.
Okay. So, what's it been like being here at this place? How would you describe Shelters by
Eye
Jesus?
opener. For somebody like me, it was an eye opener.
Okay.
But I got used to it. The people are nice. There's a few bad apples. but-
Like out on the street,
Sure.
you know, there's good, there's bad. We get the good, the bad, the ugly, but
You got more good than bad here.
we do. We do.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, and that's a reflection of a tight ship. It's staff and yourself and your staff. You run a tight ship. Nobody gets away with a heck of a lot.
there you go. So, how do people eat on the street? I mean, now, but you had some kind of income too, though, right?
Yeah. I had food stamps and my Social Security and stuff like that. So I always had some finances.
Okay, you had some
Sure.
means of support.
Yeah, I wasn't broke.
Okay. So,
I wasn't rich.
no, I know. I run into you usually at the end of the month. So,
Yeah.
anyway, how did people treat you? How did you feel that non-homeless people, because the homeless call them kind of people, they're those kind of people. How did you find others in the community reacted to you?
I can't.
Looking at you.
I can't say that. I can't say a bad thing about them. I was always treated with respect.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I never had a problem with people that I ran into. I don't know if it's because if they knew who I was or somebody told them who I was. I'm sure, but I'm sure they got information about me because they seem to know a lot about me, and it kind of surprised me.
Yeah. Well, the first time I heard about you was Eric Gattay was here. He was working on my staff, and his brother and you played hockey together or something, right? Am I right?
Something like that.
And Eric came to me and said, this guy, he used to be the former assistant attorney general in the state of Maine. He's homeless. I thought Eric was pulling my leg, and I go, okay, all right, sure, it's all right. And he goes, no. He said, I'd like to have him come here. And I said, well, he can come here anyway. But I said, yeah, we're getting the former assistant attorney general of the state of Maine here. And he goes, if he'll come, he really is. And he said, I said, he was an All-American hockey player, and he was drafted by the Bruins. And I said, and he's on the street? He goes, there he is. He said, people would be amazed at who's on the street. Have you found people on the street that were educated? They're not all uneducated on the street, correct?
What I've seen on the street, all walks of life.
There you
They
go.
come from everywhere, and some would really surprise you. I'm sure I've surprised a lot of people.
Well, you surprised me, Um,
Fancy. Well, you rescued me from down by the river.
well, it's
Here-
funny when I
here
come.
you come in. Here you come in your big pickup truck.
There you go.
Get in.
That's right.
And ever since then, you bring me a cup of coffee and the paper every morning.
Well, when I want to catch my horses, I bring them a carrot. When I want to catch you, I bring coffee and newspaper.
And I do appreciate it. And I love you.
And we become great friends. I want you to know, if you guys are watching this isn't scripted at all. I don't, right, Dana?
No?
I haven't told these guys what to say. I never do. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know what I'm going to say. This is all new to me too. I'm just winging it. So, but I appreciate all three of these guys coming. So I'm gonna pick on J Mac next.
You're gonna pick on me?
All right. So J Mac, what did you do before you found yourself on the street?
Well, I actually just got out of high school like 2 years before I found myself homeless. I had just about turned 20. I had actually enrolled at UMA.
You were enrolled at University of Maine, Augusta?
Yeah.
Really?
I enrolled in UMA. I spent 6 months there, and just decided it wasn't for me. I was 19. I didn't want to be a part of that.
Okay.
At the time, I wanted to go experience life.
So what was you studying to do? What did you? We know Dana studied to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
What was your goal?
I don't know. I think I picked something mundane like hotel management or something like that. I picked whatever I could that was just easy.
So it wasn't like you went to college with a dream.
Right. I went there because that's what people wanted.
Because you were college age.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went there in 6 months. I just decided that I didn't want it.
See, he and I are a lot alike in that respect. I had no aspiration, when I went to college, I had no aspiration to ever be a lawyer. That was the last thing on my mind.
Well, I thought you went to be a lawyer.
No.
So what was you going to be? An astronaut?
I went to a liberal, a very reputable liberal arts school to play hockey.
So you went to be a hockey player,
That's right.
and you ended up being a lawyer.
But I got good grades. But for Bowdoin College, I never would have got into law school.
If people don't know, in Maine, Bowdoin College is one of the top Ivy League colleges in New England.
It's one of the top schools in the country.
Yeah, I mean,
4 presidents went.
well, don't hold that against them. My word, that's the only black guy the poor people got. Having a hockey player go to the Bruins would have been, getting one of the dumb presidents. So what did you end up doing?
Well, I decided to go and enjoy life. I made a lot of mistakes.
What do you mean by enjoy life? What were you looking to do?
Just see what life had to offer. College wasn't my idea of what I wanted for life at the time.
Okay.
So I was like, I kind of want to experience more of what life has to offer other than this. Which, in hindsight being what it is probably the wrong decision. But I made a lot of bad choices. I ended up homeless in Portland, which wasn't a very good place. I didn't know anybody.
That was going to be my next question. What's it like being homeless in Portland? But what do we got for time, Seth? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up, we're going to start another one in a second. We're going to close this one out. Then we're going to go into number 2. We may end up getting like 3 out of this. I don't know. But I want people to really grasp what this whole thing is like and get a flavor for what people like that are on the street, because I really think this is going to be an eye-opener. I know it is already. In your case, Dana, especially, you were an eye-opener to me. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to close this out. I want to thank you for watching podcast number 1. I guess we'll call it number 1 of, what are we going to call it, Seth?
On the streets.
Well, number 1 of On the Street. Number 1 on the street. And we're going to have number 2 on the street in a minute. And we'll be picking up, J-Mac will be picking up on his story, and we'll get back and forth with Dana, and then we're going to get to Kenny. We got a lot of conversations that we're going to have. Again, this is unscripted, and Dana's here because you give $9 a month. J-Mac, Kenny, they're all here. 23 kids are here because of you. We're 100% faith-based. We don't get tax money. Your tax dollars do not go to run this place at all. We get generosity of people's hearts. And for every one of you that's punching that button for $9, thank you. If you say, well, I don't have $9, but I want to help, subscribe to our podcast or my Saturday night stream. And I stream our service Saturday night on YouTube. Go to YouTube, subscribe. Go to Shelters by Jesus, subscribe. And every time you kind of know what I got, hit like. If you think I stink, hit like anyway, because you help the homeless. It ain't about me. It's about the homeless. So we're going to end this one, and we're going to get ready to start another one in just a minute. So after this, keep an eye out. You'll see it labeled as homeless, a street, whatever we're going to call it. Number 2. You'll recognize it when you see it. So you all come back now. Here.